Joe first approached us about the Exchange Church about 2.5 years ago, and he asked us to be a part of the leadership. And so, at first, I think we were sort of hesitant to commit. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know if God was calling us to be a part of this. But God just kept showing us and opening that door and really revealing that He wants us to go in that direction.
I grew up since I can remember going to church, and I went to a really big church my whole life, like where you go in, you're like one of thousands, and you don't feel the sense of community. Even though it's there, but it's just when you go to a church and everyone knows each other, you're held accountable by the other members, and then you hold the other members accountable, and you're able to fellowship, and you're able to just be on that more intimate level. I think it just makes a world of difference in your walk with God.
When my friend told me about Exchange, or she brought me to Exchange, I just liked how the people were so welcoming, and it was a small community where people could really get to know you intimately, and I could just really see myself here being friends with these people, and they were just real to me. And then after listening to Joe's sermon and seeing what the mission is of this church, everything was gospel-centered or gospel-focused or gospel-driven, and I think that's what really stood out.
It just felt different. I know that's like, it's like not really an explanation, but not that I didn't feel like God was at the other churches I went to, but like I remember during worship, I just got this like overwhelming feeling like that, like I actually felt that like God was there and He was actually speaking to me.
I really believe in our mission of the Exchange Church, which is to make gospel-centered disciples through gospel-fueled worship, gospel-empowered community, gospel-motivated service, and gospel-driven multiplication. And I really like seeing our community grow through this mission, and I really see that when we put the gospel at the forefront of everything else, that I really see God growing this community.
Even with the India trip, we didn't go when it was convenient, like for us, but we were really just being prayerful to see how God opened the door, and where the need was, that's when the exchange, and Joe and like Cora, that's when they were like, this is like the right time, even though it's not convenient, for us. And so I think to be at a community where, Christ and God and what He's doing is at the forefront is, I think, so exciting yet challenging. And so that's been really exciting to see.
Yeah, I guess what I've seen here and what I've really been encouraged by and blessed by that God has been doing is bringing people at home in the gospel, having them find their identity, having them find a community in the gospel, having them find purpose and a calling for their lives that is beyond just what I do at work, or beyond just kind of living a life for myself, living a life of leisure, living a life of fun, and putting our very lives on the altar and being able to kind of declare before God, I'll sacrifice. We don't want to ask the question, what works for us and what is convenient for us. We want to ask the question, how can we model the sacrifice that Christ has made for us and show that same grace and that same love to people around us, to God's glory. And so it's very exciting seeing all of those things. It's awesome. And when crazy things happen that we can't predict and we can't control, we know that it's the Holy Spirit, and it helps us to have faith in Him more, to trust in Him more, and we're excited to see what else He has on the horizon for us.